Hello again. There was a time, not so long ago, when the aim of all men and women of goodwill in Britain and America was to create a society which was colour-blind and without racial prejudice. In this brave new world, the colour of a man's skin would, as Haile Selassie, one time Emperor of Ethiopia, expressed the hope, be of no more significance than the colour of his eyes. This was what everybody, black and white, dreamed of. In the 1960s, we thought that this was what was meant by being anti-racist. What fools! Today, this is the very definition of being racist. Few ideas are held in more contempt by modern anti-racists than the idea of being colourblind. It is associated with the idea of so-called abstract liberalism. I give a link to a Wikipedia article about this, which contains the following quotation from an anti-racist campaigner. Abstract liberalism involves invoking abstract ideas such as equal opportunity and individual choice, while opposing concrete proposals to reduce inequality. This perspective tends to ignore the underrepresentation of people of colour in prestigious jobs and schools, along with institutional practices that encourage segregation. So now you know what you are doing when you promote equal opportunity and try to ignore the colour of somebody's skin. You are really encouraging segregation. In fact, to be anti-racist in the modern world, you must actually focus on the skin colour and make it central to your worldview. I spoke yesterday about an orchestra in Britain which is only open to non-white people, which is of course racist. But according to anti-racists, this is a good thing. It's a good form of racism. In this way, anti-racism now explicitly accepts and promotes racism, which is a little confusing, I will grant. It's very much like the party slogans from 1984, which I use as the title to this video. War is peace and freedom is slavery. We may now add, racism is anti-racism. Being able to exclude white people from an orchestra is absolutely fine for modern anti-racists, and they find that a very sensible thing to do. What about an orchestra which is mainly white and has blind auditions, though? Such auditions were introduced 50 years ago because there were suggestions that both women and black people were being deliberately excluded from professional orchestras, which is awful. Auditions for new members began to be held behind screens so that those listening could not tell the gender or skin colour of the player. Only the quality of their playing would be judged. For most of us, this is surely an ideal situation because in an orchestra, all that matters is how good a musician a member is. His or her gender or skin colour should play no part at all in the process of selecting new members. Whoa, there is abstract liberalism right there. In the description to this video, I give a link to a piece from the New York Times, which denounces this approach. It seems that the New York Philharmonic Orchestra has 106 members, only one of whom is black. Well, there's obviously been no racial prejudice there because all the auditions are blind. But it seems that having just one black member in such a multiracial city is a scandal, and it has been caused by this wretched colourblind approach. What should be done is that quotas for black people and Hispanics should be introduced so that the orchestra reflects the ethnic composition of New York. Never mind that these musicians will no longer be the best available through blind auditions. It is more important that the correct number of black people are playing, rather than that the music should be of the highest quality. So we reach the situation today where it is desirable and good that an orchestra should exist which bans white people from joining, but at the same time a largely white orchestra should be forced to accept musicians who are not very good simply because they happen to be black. As I said, freedom is slavery and racism is anti-racism. I hope the viewers will be able to make more sense of this than I am able to do.